Something really fascinating is happening in the way businesses are thinking about AI. We're moving away from this idea of a single do it all model and into something way more powerful, a full on digital workforce. So, what does that actually look like? Let's break it down. Okay, so let's start with a really basic question. We've all used an AI to get a quick answer, and it's great for that. But is a single AI on its own really enough to handle the complex, messy, multi step stuff that businesses do every single day?
A standard AI is fantastic at what it does. You ask it something, it gives you an answer. It's kind of like having a super smart intern who's basically read the entire internet. But real business isn't just a simple Q&A session, right?
And that's the key. Real work is a workflow. It's got steps, it involves planning something out, grabbing the right data, checking to make sure you're following the rules, making a decision, and then finally having someone look it over. A single AI, no matter how smart, just isn't built to juggle all of that. So, what's the solution? Well, instead of one generalist, you build a team of specialists. Think about it. Each AI agent has one specific job. The planner agent, it maps out the task. The business agent makes the key decisions. The data agent, it goes and pulls exactly the information that's needed. Then the compliance agent makes sure everything is by the book. And a reviewer gives it all a final check. Everybody's an expert in their own little area. Okay, so you have this team. Who manages it? That's where the orchestrator comes in. You can just think of it as the manager. It's the one that assigns tasks to the right agent, it controls who can do what, and it makes sure the whole process is following company rules from beginning to end. It's the brain of the operation. And here's what's so important. This digital team doesn't just operate in some fantasy land. These agents are built to plug right into the business systems you already use every day. Your ERP, your CRM, your internal data. So they're not going rogue. They're using the exact same approved tools your human teams do. That's how you get consistency. This brings up a huge question for any business thinking about AI. What about control? Well, in this kind of system, every single action, every decision is tracked, it's logged, and it's all governed by rules you set beforehand. This gives you a complete audit trail, which means you get the kind of transparency and security you absolutely need for serious work. So let's just tie this all together real quick. You've got your AI agents, that's the team. You've got the orchestrator, that's the manager calling the shots. And you've got governance, that's the company rulebook that everyone has to play by. It's a simple idea, but it's an incredibly powerful structure. And when you bring all that together, the specialized roles, the clear management, and that strict governance, you completely change what AI is. It stops being just a clever tool and becomes a reliable, scalable digital workforce, a team you can actually trust with complex business tasks. When you boil it all down, it comes to this. Clear roles mean you have accountability. Strong coordination means you have efficiency. And when you put those two together, that's what creates real, tangible business value. So that leaves us with one final thought to take away with you. Now that you see how this kind of structure works, what's that complex or maybe repetitive or just plain time-consuming work in your world that a dedicated digital workforce could completely transform? The possibilities are really, really exciting. Thanks for tuning in.